woman accidentally discovered that her boyfriend was actually a wealthy man hiding his true identity. Not only that, but he was also planning to break up with her and hand over $10 million as a parting gift. Yet instead of feeling heartbroken, she found herself quietly buzzing with excitement. After all, she had never in her entire life laid eyes on that kind of staggering money. Besides, cutting ties with him had already been a calculated part of her own plan. As it turned out, in her previous life, her female neighbor had stumbled upon a badly wounded man right outside her front door. Moved by compassion, she brought him inside and nursed him back to health day and night. Over time, the two grew unexpectedly close and tumbled headfirst into a tender romance. But several months later, they discovered that the mysterious man was actually a fabulously wealthy figure hiding his real identity. He presented the neighbor with $10 million as grateful repayment for saving his life, then made it clear that they were completely even and owed each other absolutely nothing. However, the neighbor had already fallen hopelessly in love with him and had zero interest in the money. Watching him walk out of her life, she wept with a raw and devastating grief. Witnessing that scene, the woman hurried over and gently tried to talk some sense into her, telling her that he was nothing but a cold and selfish man and that she should just forget about him. But the lovesick neighbor took immediate offense the moment she heard a single bad word spoken against him. She shot to her feet and shoved the woman down hard onto the ground. The back of her head struck a large jagged stone with brutal force, and just like that, the woman who had been dreaming obsessively about the check drew her very last breath. Fortunately, heaven took pity on her and handed her a precious second chance, sending her back to the exact day the neighbor had first found that injured man. So this time, the greedy woman rushed ahead of her neighbor and rescued that wealthy man herself. She brought him home and looked after him with careful and devoted attention. In the days that followed, she treated him with the same warm care her neighbor had shown in the previous life, performing the role of someone who loved him deeply down to her very bones, all while privately betting that once he reclaimed his identity, he would compensate her with a generous sum. Sure enough, before long, a group of loyal subordinates tracked down the long missing man. Seeing how warmly the woman treated him on top of the fact that she had saved his life, a trusted aide suggested that the man bring her back and make her his wife. But the man flatly refused without a moment of hesitation. He sneered that she was nothing more than a simple country girl and that he could never bring himself to respect her. He then stated that he would give her $10 million as fair compensation for the past several months. Little did he know that every word had been overheard by the woman standing quietly just outside the door. Realizing that the check was practically already within her eager grasp, she could no longer hold back the wide smile creeping across her face. She had no reason to shed real tears over such a heartless man, and on top of that, she was about to receive $10 million to fulfill her mother's dying wish. So she decided to sleep soundly that night and collect her money the next morning. But before the new day had barely begun, something unexpected came crashing down on her. She woke up to the news that her father and stepmother had accepted a bribe from the village chief and had arranged to hand her off in marriage to his son without asking her. Thankfully, at the most critical moment, the man arrived with a crew of imposing subordinates just in time. The village chief initially thought he had the home advantage and could put them in their place, but the next second his eyes landed on a distinctive mark on the man's body. That mark was the exclusive symbol of the most powerful and feared underground syndicate in the region, and everyone knew that anyone foolish enough to cross them never walked away unscathed. The village chief went pale with terror and turned tail without looking back. Meanwhile, the woman still had no idea who the man truly was. She simply assumed he was an ordinary though comfortably wealthy person. So when he held out a check for $30 million, her eyes went absolutely wide with disbelief. She just could not figure out why the breakup payment had suddenly tripled. Determined to get to the bottom of this, she did not immediately reach out and take the check.